The galaxy was a place of powerful empires, advanced technology, and ancient races. Thousands of alien civilizations lived among the stars. Some had ruled for millions of years. Others controlled hundreds of planets. To them, humans were nothing special. Earth was a small world on the edge of known space. Humans had only recently discovered faster-than-light travel. Their ships were slower. Their weapons were weaker. Their technology was far behind the great powers of the galaxy. Whenever humans joined galactic meetings, many aliens laughed. They called humanity the young race. They called Earth the backward planet. Most humans ignored the insults. They focused on learning, trading, and building friendships. They wanted peace, not conflict. But everything changed because of one unexpected encounter. Far from Earth, a human exploration ship named Horizon traveled through an unexplored sector of space. Its mission was simple: map new star systems and search for valuable resources. Captain Daniel Hayes stood on the bridge, watching the stars outside. The journey had been quiet for weeks. Then suddenly, an alarm echoed through the ship. Unknown signal detected, an officer reported. The crew quickly moved to their stations. A large object appeared on the scanners. It was not a planet. It was not an asteroid. It was a ship, a very large ship. The crew stared at the screen in silence. The vessel was unlike anything they had ever seen. Its dark metal surface stretched for kilometers. Strange blue lights glowed across its hull. No known galactic race used a design like this. Can we identify it? Captain Hayes asked. The officer shook his head. No records found. The bridge became quiet. A few seconds later, another warning appeared. Captain, the ship is moving toward us. Everyone felt nervous. The unknown vessel was at least 50 times larger than the Horizon. If it attacked, there would be no chance of escape. Captain Hayes took a deep breath. Open a communication channel. The crew sent greetings in every major galactic language. No response came. The giant ship continued moving closer. Then suddenly, the screens flickered. A strange symbol appeared. No one recognized it. Moments later, a deep voice filled the bridge. The language was unknown, but somehow the ship's computer slowly translated it. The message was short. Human vessel detected. The crew exchanged worried looks. The voice continued. You are not the species we expected. Captain Hayes felt a chill run down his spine. What do they mean by that? One officer whispered. Before anyone could answer, the massive ship stopped. For several seconds, nothing happened. Then the voice returned. This time, it sounded almost surprised. Interesting. The giant vessel turned away from the Horizon. Without another word, it accelerated into deep space and disappeared. The bridge fell silent. No attack. No explanation. Only questions. Captain Hayes looked at the empty screen. He had a feeling this encounter was not over. In fact, he feared it was only the beginning. And far beyond the borders of known space, someone or something had just taken notice of humanity. The crew of the Horizon could not stop thinking about the strange encounter. For days, Captain Daniel Hayes reviewed every recording from the unknown ship. The message played again and again. Human vessel detected. You are not the species we expected. Nobody understood what it meant. When the Horizon returned to Earth, the information was immediately sent to the United Earth Council. Scientists, military leaders, and experts studied every detail. But they found nothing. The symbol was unknown. The ship design was unknown. Even the language was unknown. It was as if the vessel had come from a part of the universe nobody had ever seen before. News of the encounter quickly spread across the galaxy. And as usual, many alien races laughed. At a meeting of the Galactic Council, several ambassadors mocked humanity. They found a ghost ship. Maybe their scanners are broken. Humans always imagine things. The room filled with quiet laughter. Human representatives stayed calm. They had become used to such treatment. But deep inside, many felt uneasy, because they knew something was wrong. Very wrong. 3 weeks later, the answer arrived. Without warning, a powerful signal appeared across thousands of star systems. Every communication network received it. Every government received it. Every military command received it. The signal carried the same strange symbol that had appeared on the horizon. People across the galaxy watched as the message translated itself into hundreds of languages. Then a cold voice began to speak. "We have returned." Fear spread immediately. The voice continued. "For 10,000 years, we searched for the descendants of the first builders." Across the galaxy, confusion filled every government center. Nobody knew who the first builders were. The message continued. "Our records predicted their return." A large star map appeared on screens everywhere. Several regions were highlighted. One glowing point stood at the center. Earth. People stared in shock. The voice spoke again. "We have found them." Silence followed. Then the message ended. The entire galaxy exploded with questions. Why Earth? Why humans? What were the first builders? No answers came, but the reaction from many alien powers was immediate. Fear. The strongest empires began secret meetings. Military fleets moved toward their borders. Intelligence agencies searched ancient records. Many leaders worried that humanity was hiding something powerful, something dangerous. On Earth, governments were just as confused. Humans had never heard of the first builders. There was no secret history, no hidden empire. At least, that was what everyone believed. Then another discovery shocked the planet. Deep beneath an abandoned research site in Antarctica, scientists found a sealed underground chamber. The structure was thousands of years older than human civilization. Its walls were covered with the same symbols seen on the mysterious ship, the same symbols from the galaxy-wide message. Scientists could hardly believe their eyes. The discovery was immediately classified. Only a handful of people were allowed to know. As military guards secured the site, one scientist looked at the ancient markings. His hands trembled because one symbol had finally been translated. It contained only 3 words. Earth must awaken. And somewhere in deep space, hidden beyond known stars, massive fleets were already moving, not toward conquest, not toward trade. They were coming for Earth. The discovery in Antarctica changed everything. Deep beneath the ice, scientists have found an ancient structure older than any known human civilization. The world did not know about it. The governments of Earth kept it secret. Military forces surrounded the area day and night. Only a small group of scientists and officials were allowed inside. Among them was Dr. Sarah Mitchell, one of Earth's best archaeologists. As she walked through the underground chamber, she felt a strange sense of fear. The walls were covered with glowing symbols. The same symbols seen on the unknown ship. The same symbols that had appeared in the message sent across the galaxy. But one thing made the discovery even more shocking. The symbols were not random. They form a language. And little by little, the scientists were learning how to read it. Days turned into weeks. More translations appeared. Most of the messages were damaged by time. But one sentence was repeated again and again. The Guardians will return. Nobody knew who the Guardians were, but the message seemed to be a warning. Meanwhile, news from space became worse. Long-range sensors detected enormous fleets moving through unexplored regions of the galaxy. Thousands of ships, maybe more. No one knew who controlled them. No one knew their purpose. Fear spread among the major galactic powers. For the first time in centuries, rival empires began working together. Even the races that once laughed at humanity were now worried. The mysterious fleet seemed to be heading toward one destination, Earth. At the Galactic Council, emergency meetings continued every day. Some leaders demanded that Earth be isolated. Others wanted humans placed under military control. They feared that humanity might somehow be connected to the ancient mystery. The human representatives strongly denied everything, because they truly knew nothing. Or at least, they thought they knew nothing. Back in Antarctica, Dr. Mitchell and her team made another discovery. Hidden beneath the main chamber was a sealed door. The door had no handle, no lock, no visible opening. Only a single glowing handprint in its center. Scientists tried every tool they had. Nothing worked. The door would not move. Then something unexpected happened. A young technician named Ethan accidentally touched the glowing handprint. The moment his hand made contact, the entire chamber lit up. Blue light flooded the walls. Machines that had been silent for thousands of years suddenly activated. Everyone stepped back in shock. A deep sound echoed through the structure. Slowly, the giant door began to open. Behind it was a vast room filled with strange technology. None of it looked human. At the center stood a massive crystal-like object. It glowed with a soft silver light. As Ethan moved closer, the crystal suddenly activated. A holographic image appeared above it. The image showed a tall figure wearing armor unlike anything seen before. The figure looked human, but not completely human. Its eyes glowed with blue light. The room became silent. Then the figure spoke. Its voice was calm. "If you're seeing this message, the time has come." Everyone froze. The figure continued. Humanity was never alone. Dr. Mitchell felt her heart race. The figure pointed toward the stars. "Your species was created to protect this galaxy." The room fell silent. Nobody could believe what they were hearing. Then the message delivered its final warning. "The enemy has returned." At that exact moment, alarms began sounding across the Antarctic base. Military officers rushed into the chamber. Their faces were pale. One officer looked directly at Dr. Mitchell. "We just received reports from deep space." His voice shook. "The unknown fleets have crossed the border." He paused. Then he spoke the words nobody wanted to hear. "They will reach Earth in less than 30 days. The countdown had begun, and humanity still had no idea who the enemy truly was. The unknown fleets would reach Earth in less than 30 days. Panic began to grow across the galaxy. Governments declared emergencies. Military forces moved into position. Trade routes started closing. For the first time in centuries, the entire galaxy was united by fear. But their fear was not only directed at the mysterious enemy, it was also directed at humanity. At the Galactic Council, leaders held an emergency meeting. The massive chamber was filled with angry voices. Many believed Earth was hiding the truth. Many believed humans knew more than they admitted. The evidence seemed impossible to ignore. The ancient structure was on Earth. The message mentioned humanity. The mysterious fleets were coming directly toward Earth. To many alien leaders, the answer seemed obvious. Humans were connected to the crisis, and that made them dangerous. One powerful empire made a shocking proposal. Earth must be quarantined. The chamber became silent. Another leader agreed. No ship should enter or leave the Sol system. Others quickly supported the idea. Soon, more voices joined in. They claimed it was necessary for galactic security. Human representatives protested immediately. "We have done nothing wrong. We are searching for answers just like everyone else." But few listened. Years of disrespect toward humanity had made the decision easy. Many races already saw humans as weak and unimportant. Now they saw them as a threat. Within days, a coalition fleet was assembled. Thousands of warships surrounded the outer regions of the Sol system. Officially, it was called a security operation. In reality, Earth had become a prisoner. Back on Earth, people watched the situation unfold with anger. Humanity had spent decades trying to build friendships. They had followed galactic laws. They had avoided conflicts. Yet now, when danger appeared, the galaxy blamed them. Many citizens felt betrayed. Meanwhile, deep beneath Antarctica, the ancient facility continued revealing its secrets. Dr. Sarah Mitchell and her team worked around the clock. The holographic Guardian had left behind massive amounts of data. Most of it was still locked. But every day, they unlocked a little more. One discovery changed everything. The Guardian was telling the truth. Thousands of years ago, an advanced civilization had existed. A civilization connected to humanity. They were known as the First Builders. Long before the modern galactic empires existed, they had protected the galaxy from a terrible enemy. An enemy so dangerous that entire star systems had been destroyed. The war had nearly ended all intelligent life. To stop the threat, the First Builders sacrificed themselves. Before disappearing, they left behind hidden technology, and they left one final hope: humanity. The room became silent as the information appeared on the screen. Nobody could believe it. Humans were not descendants of a forgotten race. They were descendants of the first builders themselves. That was why the mysterious fleets had come. That was why Earth had been marked. The enemy had finally returned. Then another alarm sounded. A military officer rushed into the control room. His face was pale. Multiple fleet contacts detected. Everyone looked up. Where? Dr. Mitchell asked. The officer swallowed hard. Inside the Sol system. The room froze. That was impossible. The coalition blockade was still active. No fleet should have been able to enter. The officer continued. They didn't come through normal space. A large screen activated. Thousands of black warships appeared near the edge of the solar system. No warning, no communication, no identification. They had simply appeared. Around the world, defense systems entered combat mode. Military commanders prepared for battle. Across the galaxy, leaders watched in horror. The unknown enemy had arrived, and their first target was Earth. Then a transmission came from the Black Fleet. Only one sentence was sent. One sentence that reached every screen in the galaxy. The last descendants have been found. This time, humanity will not survive. For a moment, complete silence filled the stars. Then Earth began preparing for war. The message from the Black Fleet spread across the galaxy within minutes. The last descendants have been found. This time, humanity will not survive. Fear filled every world. Even the strongest galactic empires were shaken. Nobody had ever seen an enemy appear so suddenly. Nobody knew how powerful they truly were. But one thing was clear. They had come for Earth. Near the edge of the solar system, coalition warships moved to intercept the invading fleet. Thousands of ships formed a defensive line. The commanders hoped to stop the enemy before they reached Earth. They never got the chance. Without warning, bright flashes of light exploded across space. Strange energy weapons fired from the black ships. Entire squadrons disappeared in seconds. Massive cruisers were torn apart like paper. Explosions lit up the darkness. The battle lasted less than 15 minutes. When it ended, the coalition fleet was gone, destroyed. Across the galaxy, leaders watched the battle recordings in disbelief. The enemy's technology was far beyond anything they had ever seen. For the first time, the galaxy understood the truth. This was not a normal invasion. This was extinction. Meanwhile, deep beneath Antarctica, scientists unlocked another section of the ancient database. The holographic guardian appeared once more. His glowing eyes looked directly at the people in the room. The enemy you face is known as the Void Empire. The room became silent. The guardian continued. They consume civilizations. They erase history. They leave nothing behind. Images appeared around the chamber. Destroyed planets, burning cities, dead stars, entire civilizations wiped from existence. Dr. Sarah Mitchell felt cold as she watched. The Void Empire had destroyed thousands of worlds long ago. The first builders had barely stopped them, but they had never fully won. The enemy had survived, and now they had returned. The Guardian revealed one final secret. Hidden across Earth were ancient defense systems left behind by the first builders. Massive weapons, advanced shipyards, powerful technologies waiting to be awakened. Humanity had inherited them, but they required a special activation code, a genetic code, human DNA. The room exploded with excitement. For the first time, Earth had hope. Governments immediately approved activation. Around the planet, ancient systems began waking up. Hidden facilities opened beneath mountains. Buried shipyards rose from the oceans. Massive structures emerged from deserts. People watched in amazement as technology thousands of years old came back to life. Within days, Earth's military changed forever. New starships entered service. Their weapons were stronger than anything humanity had ever built. Their shields were nearly impossible to break. The balance of power was changing, fast, but the Void Empire was already approaching. Black ships moved deeper into the solar system every hour. The final battle was getting closer. Then something unexpected happened. Messages began arriving from across the galaxy. The same alien races that once laughed at humanity were now asking for help. Some offered ships, some offered supplies, some offered soldiers. They finally understood. If Earth fell, everyone would fall. For the first time in galactic history, old enemies stood together. Humanity accepted their support, but the final decision belonged to Earth. A special meeting of a united Earth Council was held. Military leaders, scientists, and world representatives gathered in one room. The future of humanity would be decided there. The discussion lasted for hours. Finally, the vote was complete. The decision was unanimous. The council president stood before the cameras. Billions of people watched across Earth. Millions more watched from other worlds. His voice was calm, but his words echoed through the galaxy. Humanity did not start this war. He paused. The room remained silent. Then he continued, "But humanity will finish it." Moments later, an official transmission was sent directly to the Void Empire. Only 4 words appeared on every screen. Earth declares total war. Across the solar system, millions of soldiers prepare for battle. Thousands of newly awakened warships power their engines. Humanity was no longer running. Humanity was no longer afraid. And for the first time in history, the galaxy stopped laughing.